All of us have our favorite childhood stories and childhood memories. My favorite childhood memory is Bidadari Christian Cemetery. Now that sounds morbid, but I can disappoint you by telling you first that there is nothing eerie about my memories. Right? Now, it was the 1950s, 1960s at that time, late 1950s, early 1960s. Our group of boys comprised of 6 to 8 boys, aged between 8 to 12 years old. We were living in Potong Pasir village at that time. Bidadari Christian Cemetery was along Upper Serangoon Road, diagonally opposite Potong Pasir village. As you know, the cemetery has been exhumed and redeveloped into housing estates. So all we have today are memories. And let me share with you some of my memories there. Our activities in the cemetery include walking and running along the cemetery, along the grave, playing hide and seek, hiding behind the tomb so that our friends cannot see us, playing football, fighting spiders, playing catching, and playing hamtam bola. Hamtam bola, for those who do not know the Malay language, it means striking ball. It involves 2 teams of boys, or usually girls who will join us if they are gutsy enough, and a tennis ball. So what happened is, if you are in possession of a tennis ball, you can use it to strike someone from the other team. Now you will run away. The other team, whoever is involved will try to run away from the tennis ball. Now, the game was very active. There are a lot of running involved, and boys will be boys. They love running games. But what is painful is when the tennis ball strikes you, it can be very painful. Sometimes it hits you on the face as well. Now, we are from poor families, very poor. In fact, we live in attap houses and zinc houses. We don't even have electricity in our home. And we had to rely on kerosene lamp. If you remember the pressure kerosene, you pump the lamp and it shines out. And after a while, it goes light, darker again. You pump again. And that's what we did. Obviously, we don't have televisions or telephones at home. But not everyone, not all our friends were poor. Some of them were rich. And they live in concrete tile houses. What we call in Hokkien, Chia Hong Chu. Holiday homes. They have telephones. They have TVs in home. Now, the cemetery has an office. And the office has a telephone number. Till today, I remember the telephone. It's 89100. Don't try to buy 4D because it's 5 numbers. So the telephone, and whenever our friends or anyone asks us for a telephone, so that they can reach us, we, instead of losing face and tell them we don't have a telephone, we'll tell them the telephone number of the cemetery, 89100. Can you imagine what will happen when someone tried to contact me and they dial the phone? It is a dialing. The telephones had no buttons for numbers. It's only you dial 89100 and the phone ring. After a while, someone will pick up the phone and say, Bidadari Cemetery, can I help you? Now, can you imagine the shock that the caller will feel? The caller would not even take the trouble to say, or would not even remember to say, can I speak to Richard? Now, on top of in the center of the cemetery, was a hill. And on top of the hill, there was only one tree. We named the tree One Tree Hill. Not the One Tree Hill in Orchard Road, but the One Tree Hill, our One Tree Hill, or in our cemetery. We call it our cemetery. So the One Tree Hill, remember, whenever you are in Orchard Road or One Tree Hill, remember Bidadari Cemetery. Now, immediately behind the cemetery was a quiet, secluded dead-end road. It's called Alcove Lakeview. Now, what happened was after sunset, couples will come to this location for some quiet Romeo and Juliet quiet time. Now, we wanted to have fun with all these couples. Boys, kids, young, we wanted to have fun. Not as peeping toms. We were not peeping toms. We're not that naughty. We're too young to understand peeping toms. But we wanted to frighten them without approaching their car and from a distance. Now, how is it possible to frighten someone from a distance? We came up with a brilliant idea. And that was very simple. We visit the cemetery at night, and a few of us will hop from one tombstone to another. When we did that, you know what happened? We could see from the headlights the car leaving Lakeview. Now, these lovebirds must believe they had seen ghosts. But the truth of the matter was, all they saw was a bunch of naughty boys having fun at the expense of the lovebirds. Now, I will conclude by saying I had never experienced any eerie or supernatural things in my time at Bidadari Cemetery. But I cannot say that of my friends. Some of them, their experience are entirely different from mine. Thank you.